Alrighty. There are about 4 minutes of morning left, so good morning, good morning. I think I spent about 10 minutes of that. Let's see, we've been live for 5 minutes, so definitely spent about 4 minutes and 30 seconds clearing my throat. Speaking of which, I need to get a cough drop here. Get that under control. What's up, Beanie? He's looking at the Velcro. That I lured her with. All right. All right, so I'm doing comics today because I want to get back to my Tuesday, Friday schedule, but I need a backlog, so hopefully I can get one of those built up. I've got 2 comics mapped out. This will be the Thanksgiving comic. I wish it was cooler. It's not cool at all, but I'm still wearing the sweatshirt because I want to show it off. I was so excited when they came in. The samples came in early yesterday, so yeah, this is the sweatshirt. And I got, I wanted it extra for me, so I ordered a huge one. But it's just so comfy and cozy. So I had a nice writing session on Sunday and got 2 comics knocked out. And I definitely need more room. This is going to be a 5 up, but I'm going to have a larger section down here with Happy. Hopefully. There we go. Come on. I might have to make this smaller. Yeah, because I do need a lot of room for text on this one. Because I need Happy Thanksgiving and then the ending, which is about I'll figure out where I want to put Happy Thanksgiving. Maybe, yeah. Maybe down here. I'll adjust it later. But I think that'll be good. And I may add Fat Cat in here. I've got Tuxie and Evil Landlord. Mark back so I know it's Evil Landlord. Tuxie in here. And maybe I'll add Fat Cat up here. Alright, so let me go ahead. I think I'm going to drop in text early. Ah. there for now. Let me do that. Okay, I definitely can bump things up. Talk with a mouthful here. All right, there we go. Now I'm ready to draw. I just had to get all of my notes from my page out. All right. And so, okay, so those, that's step rather 1 and 2 is getting my layout thumbnails done, and usually it's just a transfer from my sketchbook over to here, or my notebook rather. And so now I can go ahead and get my frames mapped out. Off we go. If I can get maybe another good writing session in this week, because I do have a few other comics tentatively, well, the ideas are started, I'll say that. I haven't polished them up yet, but if I can get a few more writing sessions and a few more ideas refined, then I think I can really start going on my backlog and getting that in order. Oops. Sharon, hello, happy Tuesday to you too. I hope you're having a good one today. I've got the sweater on, even though it's like really toasty. I've got my fan on high. To show it off today. But yeah, it came in early yesterday, and I was so excited. I wasn't expecting it that early at all. And there it was. Better? Probably just nitpicking over something. I should just... There we go. There we go. Just roll with it. Pretty quiet here at work. Last day of classes before Thanksgiving, so lots of folks are escaping campus quickly. How I bet. I bet. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I thought that was like a good move, you know, because the worst day will be right before Thanksgiving and Tuesday. No, it's like everybody went to the store yesterday, and it was personal hell for me. It really was. Because I don't like crowds. I don't go to the mall on weekends. I go during the week. In the morning when nobody's there, when it's only the walkers walking laps around the malls. That's my crowd. That's my crowd. If there's a lot of people, I'm out. It's just too stressful. Alright, those are all right. Let's group and let's do that. Which is funny because I'm not sure how I really survived San Diego, because that's like the worst crowd ever. I think it's because I'm like in my booth, and that's a little safe space. It's a little like sliver, like a galley of you know, none shall pass. But even so, I really kind of only brave the floor when like early or late, because early people aren't let in yet, and then late people are scurrying out to do whatever they want, and you know, trying to, you know, get out and, you know, go to events and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just I'm done with that. All right, so this is the one I wrote on Sunday, and actually kind of just popped into my head. It was one of those. It was a good one. I like it when I don't have to force the rhyme. So this one is called "In So Many Ways," and it's a general gratitude poem, but it starts off, "In a look and a hug after watching the zooms of two cute pugs. And in the moments we share every day, I find I am grateful for you in so many ways." So I have all of these, call it a vignette, but little glimpses into the characters just appreciating each other. I've got, you know, Granny Bear and Boop, I've got Floofs, I've got Momo and Coco, I've got the pugs zooming, and then at the end I've got Happy and Tuxie, EL, and Fat Cat, and then this will be a Floof and a Floof. So, and I'll have some nice fall type stuff in there. Probably general. What the heck is going on here? Am I stuck? We can play with them. Take that off. But yeah, so I think that'll be nice. Very nice. And it's a simple one, and I'll have it nice. And I may have like some Thanksgiving stuff in here too. But yeah. I feel like those that just flow out. The one part I had the most trouble with was right here. Because I had the zoomies in here, and I had to tweak that text a little bit. But then it just kind of flowed and worked really well. So yeah, I think on the Instagram version I'll have Happy Thanksgiving on a separate thing, and then this will be the second to last. Just a sec. Where did there's my mic. There, okay. Alright, hold on. I'll BRB just real quick. There we go, much better. did an e-blast for one of my clients, and they got 5 orders this morning. So she's really excited. I was just looking at that text. I was like, yay! It's a charity, so of course anything is good. All right, so let's start up here. I think I made Granny Bear a little too heavy a jaw right there, so I'll have to fix that. A little nervous. I signed up for the gym I go to. It's half boxing, half strength. They do a special, it's like I forget what they call it, a turkey tumble or something like that on Thanksgiving Day, and I signed up for it. So it's usually 10 rounds. It's split between strength and the benches and weights and then boxing. So this is 15 rounds, so it's the first time I've done 15. I think I did a special that was 12 rounds once. I'm just curious of how they're going to split it up. I'm wondering if it's maybe 7 and 7 and then like a core only set, which would be cool. But I figure if I do that, I can pay for any cinnamon rolls and pie that I have during the day. Do your deposit, your exercise deposit in the morning. Get your metabolism going so that you don't feel quite as guilty. I think it'll be good. I don't usually... What gasses me out is I don't have any trouble on the back side anymore. I used to have, until I conditioned my shoulders, that used to be what it was. But now that they're conditioned, I don't have any problems. But what gasses me out are combination moves. Like if you've got weights and you're combining that with like an upper body and a lower body, that really gasses me out very quickly. Because I would say my weakest point is, well, I've got plenty, but probably the weakest of them all is my upper body strength. And so if I'm working on that, but also combining in the lower body, that usually just, that is pretty tough for me, but I'm working on it. Tail right there. Whoop. Her arm seems a little big. But it'll be interesting too, because I think the class is I think by now it's 100% full. I think yesterday they only had 10 spots left. And it's a room that holds like 3-ish. It's like max 45 people, so it's split half and half. And they've got like 20 some bags over here, 20 some benches. So it's gonna be toasty. But that's actually kind of good because look at that kind of hot yoga type deal going. Which I don't mind. Maybe I'll have her giving group a flower. You need to get the this over here. He needs to be holding like a basket. Let me just sketch in the basket here. Like she's going to gathering. Whoops. Okay, I think it's time to put the hair up. If I'm gonna last in toastiness with a toasty on, then I'm gonna have to help myself out here. There we go. Oh, that's better. That's so much better. All right, so let's get this drawn in here. I'm gonna do, I'm not really doing much in terms of baking. I'm gonna do my favorites, which are, I'm gonna do green bean casserole and my shrimp dip. And I'll do shrimp dip tomorrow because it needs a good overnight in the fridge for all of the flavors to mingle and it to get really really extra good. Yeah. A toasty sweatshirt. I know, it's like the pre-game sweat. Yes. That is a fair point. It's all part of the plan. Goes in there. Her paw's going to be blocking it. Aiden, hello! Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I hope you're having a nice day today. I'm also not certain if I will be streaming on Thursday. I'm kind of going to play it on ear, and if I feel like it, yay. If I don't, then okay. Because I do have to do the green bean casserole baking, so I may or may not stream Thursday. I'll just leave it up to, I could do a short stream, just maybe just a little drawing stream. All right, so let's reinforce our corner maybe. I don't know. Just let it go. And now what the heck happened here? Oh my goodness, looks like my stylus had a little bit of an accident there. Alright, I need to connect up, or do I need to draw a new? Okay, I'll just draw it. Like that. I can bring this down. And also, okay, so if I, you know, this may or may not have contributed to my willingness to try this class out. But you get stickers at the end. And one of the stickers, well, two of this, I'm hoping I can get multiples because they have a turkey with boxing gloves and then turkey lifting a barbell. I want both of those. So yeah, that's the secret to get me to do something that I may or may not be willing to do, is to just promise me stickers, and yeah, you've got me signed up. You're so cute though. He's got little boxing gloves. Oh, I saw those and I was like, oh damn. Okay, I gotta go now. So yeah, that's the no, I'm gonna show up early, and I'm gonna get my stickers before, because I always show up early anyway. I'm gonna make sure I get my stickers. I would be so sad if I didn't get a turkey boxing sticker. Then I just have to figure out where to put it, because my water bottle that I use is covered in, you know, my favorite Be Cute stickers. So that's a conundrum. We'll just come down here and whoop, go. And whoop, whoop, and whoop. Oh, I, no. I'm still waiting for the white version of my t-shirt for the Cozy Town Christmas market. Funny enough, when I place my sample order, so you get like one sample order. Well, it scales to the, if you've got a shop that's just, printing money, thousands a week, they give you a ton of samples. But on the lower end, you just get a couple. And so I put in my sample orders, and I put sweatshirts on those because those are a little bit more expensive. And then I did the t-shirts on a separate one, and this one shipped early, got here early, but was placed second after that first one. I just thought that was interesting how it got here so early, and that's part of why I was so surprised, because everything in this order, I figured they don't treat sample orders with priority. Regular orders go above that, but the evidence of this one is actually opposite of that. I also have maybe they rush sweatshirt, possibly, maybe, because they have been like promoting and doing all of that stuff. So maybe maybe it's just sweatshirts come out of a different, warehouse thing. Because this came out of Dallas, which was surprising to me, because most of them are shipped from the East Coast facility. I don't get much from the West Coast facility. Then again, they could have wildly changed what I know of their fulfillment warehouses, but this came from Dallas. So, I'm not complaining, but I'm just like, what can I do to make sure everything comes from Dallas, Is there anything I can do to control that mystery? Probably not. But of course, if you do any, there's a lot of, I guess Dallas is a kind of fashion and not manufacturing, but it's kind of a fashion headquarters. And so a lot of the garment companies, there are a lot of warehouses that ship out of Dallas. There's also oddly Georgia, maybe not oddly, I don't know why there's kind of a hub in Georgia, but Dallas, Georgia, and there are several others that seemed consistent throughout the different wholesalers I've used, like Sanmar, Alpha Broda, which is now, actually I think Alpha Broda is now Sanmar, which it was Broder Brothers and Alpha. What was Alpha before Alpha Broder? Because I've been in this one kind of base wholesale blank merchandise company. It's where you get your shirts and you take them to the screen printers. It's a way you can kind of save money if you're printing your own t-shirts. You don't really want to go to your screen printer and have them take care of it, because most of them add anywhere from a 5 to 10% surcharge on top of that for the convenience of them ordering it for you. And if you can get your own wholesale account, you can save that, and especially on t-shirt runs, that helps. But so I've had accounts with different manufacturers, and actually I've Next Level Apparel, I sourced them from seeing shirts in Bubba Gump in like 2005 or 6 on the Santa Monica Pier. I love the quality of the shirts, and I've got the name through the product manager at the Bubba Gump place. So I was with them, and then they kind of got a little bigger. So you can get like wholesale accounts with individual companies, like, well, American Apparel used to be like that. I think they still might, but I think largely they all go through the distributors now. But smaller ones, you can still get accounts. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing about t-shirts and stuff. But anyway, that might be a reason, because they have a direct blank source right there in town. So why not stick your fulfillment facility right next to where you get your blanks? It's okay, Beanie. He's just being loud. Ariana, hello! Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well today. Pete's going nuts, so let me go and figure out why. I'll be right back. There we go. That was a nothing burger. I'm a later tater today. I'm trying to recover, because when Peter goes crazy and barks a lot, he pushes out farts. So he barks and farts. And so I walked into the kitchen into a cloud of farts. It's just so bad. Oh, god damn. That dog. He's so farty and gassy, and I don't know why. There we go. Hey, Chris. Love you. Welcome to stream. Dog parts the epitome of silent potato. Yes. It's just, it's, yeah. I guess the only thing that is worse was when Coconut was a kitten, she had really bad gas. Thank goodness she doesn't anymore, but oh my god. That was just, whew. It would make your head swim. She's carrying something. A little something. They're both going to maybe a gathering. Maybe she's carrying a big cone board or something. Like this one is a little off. A little bit more of a curve. There we go. I think that's a little better. Floating by here. One in the foreground. That big. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what my point size is here. Oh god. I'm on the wrong thing. Position their ears together. That little one here. think the paw is a little big on this boot. There we go, that's a little bit better. And maybe I need the face to be more like this, like she's smooching. And I kind of want a little bit, so Floop's body is like that. So I kind of want a little, like Floop is, had a leg pop. The rumors about Princess Diaries 3. I don't know. Probably I'll watch it, but I don't know. I kind of wish that they would just leave some series alone. Not everything has to be rebooted and revisited. We can just have nice things. I don't know enough about the Devil Wears Prada series. I know it was based off books originally, but I don't know how far the books went and if the new production is a book production or not. Hold on just a minute. Oh, we just missed a big stretch. I had to turn on her heating pad again too. All right. I'm gonna have some pretty fall. About that. I'm gonna need some actually. I don't want that. I think I'll put in some more. I don't really like how that one is angled. %. So, all right, and that one is done. Save. I haven't saved in a while. Oh shoot, wrong layer. Let's get that over. Whoop. I'm gonna adjust this after, of course, I get all the line art done. But let me go back over the text here, because I've been kind of zoomed in on this one for a bit. So this is the Thanksgiving Day comic. I'm switching my comic post from Friday to Thursday, and I wanted to get this done early, so that's why I'm doing the Tuesday comic stream. I want to get back to my Tuesday Friday schedule, but I also want to get a backlog going. So if I'm going to take Tuesdays off from doing comics, I want to make sure I get something done on a little bit of a backlog until I have a good amount, and then I'll start back up on the old schedule. But it's called In So Many Ways, and it goes, in a look and a hug after watching the zooms of two cute pugs, and in the moments we share every day, I find I'm grateful for you in so many ways. So that, and I'll have EL, Tuxie, Fat Cat, Loose with Happy, Momo Coco, and then Pudge and Frankie. I think it'll be a nice one. Just got to make sure to use the right color palette on that. Good. It's a little thin. Right size. Right, now with the zoomy ears. These are always a challenge because you gotta get them flowing back right. And I seem to have more problems with the one that's tucked behind the head than I do this one. Although I think I should open this one up a little bit more. Seems like it's a little much. Almost okay, but not this bad. I'm having trouble drawing pug ears today. That's good. Here maybe picked up. But if this ear is flowing that way, maybe this ear is also flowing like that. In which case I would see not much of it. course the tail has to be out. Need to draw a nose. Go. Nice. You want to put the tongue out too? Just keep it at the run. And I think I wanted this leg back and this leg forward. And they're kind of doing oh, sorry, Bean. It's just my cough drop. I'm having trouble drawing pug faces today. I could just duplicate Pudge's face. It needs to be smaller. And then the arm is almost going to be like this. I'm not happy with that angle. And our body's going to be that, maybe. Maybe I should keep Pudge in a group. That is probably going to be more helpful than not. That way I can group her and just have him layered on top. I think maybe a bit of the problem is that the thick line is over here. That's going to be facing the light. There we go. Quick and easy way to adjust. Orange are a little too. I think I might have hers flow outward like Pudge's did. Have a flip up there. I feel like her head is not quite right. Now I need to figure out the foreshortening on the paws. I kind of want her to have a ribbon or a bow or something. Maybe I can have the bow kind of blowing in the breeze too. Because I usually do, a few times I've drawn Frankie, she usually has some sort of a ribbon or a bow in her hair. Or tucked by her ears. I feel like that needs to be a little bigger too. We don't miss that her ear is kind of flying back. It would be better for her paw to be down for balance. I'm going to do this backwards. So if they're touching paws like this, I think I would have her. So I need to show her arm underneath, but it might be something just as simple as that. And I feel like maybe her under ear needs to be a little bigger. Yeah. Alright, so his paw is here. I kind of want to show them disappearing. Although that works too. Something like that. And if I keep her, does that still work? Let's smooth out her feet. Keep those like that. Move this over just a smidge. I kind of need to make it smaller because it's curving around, and her nose. There we go. And maybe I'll give her a little blush. I can do that in the coloring process. And let us figure out and fix up edges lines here. That's all good. This is mostly good. I just need to fix the tails there. And as soon as I get his leg here, and I'm kind of digging this look on his paw, but it kind of looks goofy a little bit, so let me figure this one out, which I know will be pretty simple to draw. I can get rid of this. Oh, that actually. And then the tail. Oh. It's a little bit better. That leg seemed a little long. don't know, this is going to be one of those where the more I mess with it, the more weird it looks and the more I can't see. Shoot. Alright, well, let's look at other areas that need help. Something. Alright. Maybe his back footer is a little too long. Oh, I actually kind of like that better. Oh shoot, am I gonna lose it? I erase that? I give him a little more booty because this leg is kind of coming through like that. The foot is behind him. Oh, there it is, there it is. I need to make that a little bit more stark. That. I think that'll work, maybe. All right, let's move on to the next one. Hitting save. Do this Momo Coco hug. Is that right? Having trouble with faces today. Alright, let's try the skin. There we go. That's like a little bit vertical, but most of it is okay. Let me see if I can erase this half and see if I can connect these up. Nope. Let's try not drawing it where it's going to end. I think probably her whiskers are going to be stuck behind her head. Well, that's a big This gesture isn't right. Maybe I need to make her a little more vertical. That's a little better. Oops. Maybe? So she's gonna have, I think this needs to be a little wider. A weird piece of something here. What is this? Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get rid of most of those points and then draw this back in. Actually, that worked out. I'll just leave it. There we go. Oops, more bits. More bits. Oh. Hey Dee! We lost our channel names in chat. What do you mean? Oh, it's now the usernames in chat. Oh, I thought people were just changing their name. I thought you were just changing your usernames. Because I noticed Chris is changed, and I was like, well, what's going on there? But Big Paw. Get this figured out here. I need a little more. Is it just me, or has YouTube been making a number of changes in the last few weeks? I think, yeah. I think, yeah. I'm not sure the extent of all of them. I've seen some things where there's like some AI channels that people are having problems with, or they're just kind of flooding in. They're flooding content, I guess. I don't know if they're encouraging that or trying to combat it, so. Make sure they're both standing on the same ground. Go. Got shoulder. I'm gonna move this up just a smidge. And I think this back here will be Momo's arm. I'm drawing background in Coconut's layer now. There you go. And the leaves over here. It's a little smaller maybe. Oh gosh, I thought something was missing. Momo's tail. One of these days I'm going to make a huge... Well, I already did, actually. It was on Super Bowl, because I drew Tuxie by a bowl of chips for the Super Bowl. And I forgot his sweater. And that whole night I was like, something is wrong with this, something is wrong with this, but I couldn't see it. And until the next morning when I got up and I looked and I'm like, he's missing the sweater. I drew Tuxie naked. That's why I try to keep, one of the many reasons why I try to keep the details simple, because if there's simpler details, there's, at least in my mind, less of a chance that I'll forget. But I nearly darn forgot a tail. That's not good. Alright, that one's done. Off balance Momo, yes, definitely. And a less expressive one too, because she was very expressive with her tail. There we go. Save. Alright, last frame here, and then I'll be done with this line art quite early. And you know what, let me just go ahead and come back up here, and I'm going to move all of this stuff up. Oops, messed it up. Let's right. I'm probably going to have to make that text bigger. Save, and then let's come up here, pop those in front and group all of their wings. Oh. I think I might make Happy a little smaller in this so I can fit everybody in here. But I want to make sure he's... toes are kind of bunched together. Was that a big stretch or was that not a big stretch? It was something. So round. She's profoundly round. He says, stop talking about my roundness. I don't talk about your roundness. I'm going to be holding on to a flute here. And I'm going to have Fat Cat here. He is snuggly. Well, when she wants to be snuggly. Always on her terms. I feel like those hand positioning is quite right there. This will be about right there. And his jacket arm, kind of like that, and this jacket arm. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, gotta go? Take care, Sharon. Have a good Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Hopefully you can escape early too. And have some tasty food and wonderful company. I kind of want to make his little jacket arms. I need to poof this way. We must poof. Sort of. It's not much of a poof. I'm starting to plan my movies. Because as I was growing up, there were certain movies that were always kind of a Thanksgiving Day staple. Miracle on 34th Street. The original one with, what's her face? She died. She had a tragic Hollywood death. Natalie Wood. She played the little girl. Was it the 1930s something? It was in black and white. I think it was 1930s. That one. That one was a staple. And then later, Home for the Holidays, that was a good one. I always usually played that one. Because, you know, after you have turkey, you kind of have to fall asleep. At least that's the way it was in my parents' house. It was turkey time and then nap time. There we go. I'm going to make that curve in a little bit. And so it was usually some movie that you could fall asleep to pretty reliably. Nothing, you know, nothing that was too engaging. I'm going to keep that arm. But yeah, and then dessert would usually come later. Floof, he's kind of too big. Or maybe I need to actually redraw Happy's arms to hold the floof. I think Floof can be here. I just need to make sure that it looks like he's holding the floof. Floof is going to be like that, and Floof might be like that. To make sure it's right. So I guess I'll keep this arm. Maybe, yeah. Alright, there's that, and I need to get that out of there. Alright, and now we need to draw our friends all around. So we've got Tuxie, Evil Landlord, Fat Cat, and an extra blue. I kind of want to save after drawing Happy since it kind of took me a little bit to figure this out. But yeah, so nap movies are quite... Let me see, what was a other good nap movie? Miracle on 34th Street was one on Home for the Holidays. There's so many. I think sometimes we added Die Hard in there, but Die Hard is more Christmas. What else? There were more movies than just two. Who's Die Hard? Die Hard, the movie. Oh, I have... Kathy, hello! Welcome to the stream! I have this... It was an illustrated poster. I can't remember the artist, but it was insane. It was, the thing that tied the whole thing together was the scene where Bruce Willis kind of, what was he like tosses a body in a chair out the window and it hits Pal's car. And he's like, "Welcome to the party, Pal." That scene where you see his face through the hole in the glass, that was like the base of the poster. And then Hans was above him, and then at the top was the explosion scene with the silhouette of Bruce Willis, you know, jumping off the roof. And it was just the composition of the poster and how they brought it all together in a very oh god, what's his name? That movie poster artist, he just passed away. Oh gosh darn it. He did Indiana Jones, he did all of those big 80s posters. Just Drew Struzan, I think. But in that style, kind of like a sketch plus painting, realistic style. Oh gosh, if I could... I think it was like a limited edition poster that went on some sort of a collector website, you know, limited press. If I could find that, I would totally get it. But in the interim, I have the JPEG on my desktop rather. Okay, I'm going to group these guys together, because it's going to be easier just to layer things up. Happy early Thanksgiving to you too. I've got to get her little face, because she's the only cat that, well, no, that cat does have whiskers too. EL does not have the little whiskies like the other cats, because the one she's based off of, her whiskers were very short and stubby, so it almost didn't, well, they weren't stubby, but they kind of ended where her cheeks ended, or they blended very well. She didn't have these elaborate, graceful whiskers like Momochi, Tuxie, and even Coconut kind of has that. She's a little bit shorter though, but Saucy Girl, it just kind of looked like her cheeks were almost like kind of like with Little Villainous. She just very short whiskers, and it kind of accentuated her cheeks. And that's why I drew like that. Plus, it also introduced a few more points to her character, which gives her a little bit of a, well, forgive the pun, but an edge. A point, an edge. She's mostly round, but there's a little bit of something mischievous in her. And that's why she has that. And also it makes her silhouette a little bit more recognizable too. I've got Momochi, she's got the 3. And Tuxie's silhouette, I put his little tuft of fur up here between his ears to differentiate his silhouette a little bit from Momo's and Fat Cat's. Fat Cat has the very fluffy ball-like tail, which of course kind of like, I don't know if she had any Persian in her, but she was quite fluffy. So that's why I gave her that little difference. And then of course Landlord and Tuxie have the shorter kind of crop close tail. Like, I love you. I've been enjoying these Evil Landlord episodes I've been doing. I think the format allows me to write easily a little bit more because it's taking a situation and that you've got the setup with, you know, what her plotting self is, what you think she's thinking, but it turns at the end that she's really more wholesome than her actions suggest. Whoops! What the hell? It's been fun writing for that. No, I gotta erase that part anyway. I was gonna go off and try and fix this side of her head, but then I was like, well, you need to erase it. That's not gonna show. I do her little cute smile. I've introduced that in the recent comics that, you know, she's got her Grinch smile. But then she has kind of her inner kitten smile too. Happy early Thanksgiving. What's in Europe? I'm not sure how it came to be, but my favorite Thanksgiving dish is green bean casserole. I don't know why. And I never used to, I don't know. I feel like I have to explain myself. But it was that, and my mom makes dressing and stuffing. And neither of them, well, does the stuffing, does she put it in the bird a little bit? Because it's cooked before it goes in the bird, and then it gets the juices. And then the dressing is my dad's recipe from his side of the family. And it's totally different. My own stuffing recipe is from her side of the family and less breading and more like minced beef. It's different. And so they're legitimately two different dishes. It's not just bread in the bird versus bread out of the bird. But when I would go for leftovers, it would be those and green bean casserole. Well, does that mean that's my actual favorite here? Yes, it does. I think I'm going to give her happy smile. Wait, I don't want to erase her happy smile, but I have to edit this. And I kind of think she's out of proportion here a bit, which is why I'm having so much trouble figuring out where to put her. Because the cats are all very much short. There we go, that's a little better. They're all kind of... I try to keep them at about half of happy. And so they can easily pile on him, like Fat Cat's going to be up here, or Pudge. Pudge is kind of, all of the cats are in Pudge are kind of in the same height, but I keep, like here, Coconut is always a little bit shorter than Momo because she's a kitten and Momo's fully grown. Momo's like a mother figure. So I always want to keep that proportionality there, but as far as the fully grown characters are, all of the main cats are about the same height, and in proportion to Happy they're about half. It would be awesome to bring these cute comics. I'm working on getting, I was working on my ebooks the other day, and I finally figured out, I think at least, and the last little bit I need to figure out is, and I'm probably just gonna deal with it and do it, but I had to do, it wasn't with the DPI, which is really weird, because I went up, I tested several different ones and I still had that pixelation and weirdness in the file when I would read it, even on my phone. I'd check it on my phone, I'd check it on my iPad, and it would have that sort of artifacting. It was like, I don't want to say anti-aliasing, but that's kind of what it was, but it was just this artifacting everywhere. And I even bumped it up to print settings, and as far as that goes, and still artifacting. And then I went in and I messed with the JPEG compression settings, and that's what did it. But at the end of the day, I looked at the file sizes, and this ebook file size is actually larger than my print file. And I'm really wondering if what I did on the first version that worked, that I could never figure out what I did to make it work and perfect the very first time, was I just saved at print settings. I just made a print file and threw it on my iPad, which kind of sounds like something I would do if I'm in a rush, but because those settings are already there and ready to go. But I'm looking at that and I'm like, well, geez, if the print file looks perfect and it's smaller, why don't I just do that? But the trade-off is it's not saved as an interactive PDF, but I'm not using the interactivity. I'm not making chapter stops and jump points. So, and that's something I could always update and do later. As far as, you know, making things interactive and harnessing those features. So she's kind of, her shoulder is about like here. But hopefully, once I get those done, that'll extend the audience of the comics out, because I won't, you know, have to physically was something weird too. Apparently I can't ship plushies to Australia because I'm trying to remember. I think it was at San Diego, and then again I got a customer inquiry, I think. But I also had someone from Australia who came to the booth and was wanting to get all the plushies because they can't ship in. And I think that was around COVID or something, and then maybe I was able to ship before then. But it's you know, that's good for EL, and here's her bloop. Hey, Laz. I'm just going to say Alazmat. There we go. Instead of shortening it too soon, which I think I am. And now we're going to just draw that reference line over so I'm not making Tuxie. He'll be a little bit taller than EL because he was. But not by much. Alaz is fine. Some people call me that for short. Okay. Well, that is what I will do. This there. Well, that whisker is too long, even though his whiskers are like... Whenever he lays in the sunshine, I always try to get pictures of his whiskers because they're just... so fancy. I think I sometimes forget to draw his socks. I always have to remember later. think I'll draw his paw up like this, and maybe this one up here. And then I'll have his jacket like that, and arm of the oops. He's gonna have this nice red sweater. And sock and arm. Oh wait, do I want to have full sweater? Yeah, I'll just have full sweater. Oh heck. Just that little bit of a line. And get his cheek out here because that's going to be behind his hand, paw. Got his little tuft there. I did get him a red sweater, but I had to return last year because it was too tight. I gotta get those pictures and I gotta repost them, but his floof was just like, it was like floof. He looked like a lollipop, and the neck of it was just right tight, and it wasn't like tight, but the way it made his floof puff out the top of the sweater, it was just, it was the best, because it was a red vest. It was true to this character because I wanted to get, you know, a picture of the real Tuxie in a red vest, and yeah, he gave me a look that was I was wondering if I would last, if I would make it through the night that night. Alright, so there's Tuxie in there. And it's about gosh, I've been at this about 2.5 hours. So I'll probably am going to end the stream there, and I'll just leave Fat Cat and the extra floof. I'll get that finished up tonight. And I'm going to get myself a little bit of lunch. And yeah, but that's a lot of good. I mean, that's a full comic done, you know, way ahead of schedule. I'll get this colored up maybe tonight, and if not, definitely Wednesday. I'll finish up whatever I don't get done tonight. But yeah, I'm happy with this one, and that's pretty much all of the art except for those 2 characters. But let me go back in here, and so the title of this one is In So Many Ways. And I have the poem starting off with In a Look, and then I have Granny Bear and Lady Boob meeting and waving to each other in a hug. Boob's hugging. After watching the zooms of 2 cute pugs, and in the moments we share every day, I find I am grateful for you in so many ways. And then I'll have Happy Thanksgiving on a separate, I'll have it here for the full page, but on the Instagram version, I'm going to have it on a separate little artboard. But I really like that because it just, this whole thing kind of flowed out, and I feel like some of those are the most successful. I have to fight with the poems and the rhymes sometimes. And the only one that really threw me was I had a different line for the pugs, and it just wasn't working. But then I took a step back and looked at, I stopped thinking of it in sets of rhymes and just started reading it as a full sentence. And I was able to fix the wording and kind of make it look better that way. And it reminded me of the way I used to write poems. I didn't used to write them as you would think they would be written, like, you know, stanza, line on line. I would write it as a paragraph, and then I would break it up after. And it just seemed to work really well that way. And a lot of the poems I used to write didn't rhyme. In fact, I don't think I really started digging into rhyme until I started writing comics, especially writing pug comics. But yeah, it's interesting how those things come together. But yeah, sometimes I have to really fight with it. And I have some comics that start one way with one set of rhymes, and then the only thing I end up keeping is maybe the last set, and then I have to rewrite the whole front of it. And it's just kind of interesting how those come together. I'm sure I have probably little bits and pieces of poems that I've discarded that I could probably write into something new, or maybe the idea comes back later to me. But anyway, it's fun. But yeah, I don't mind when the rhymes are just there. That's quite preferable. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. This one is going to be posted early. This is going to be the Thanksgiving post on Thursday. Usually my posts are Tuesday, Friday. Lately I've been taking a break on my Tuesday posts, and I've only been doing Friday, but I'm shifting Friday over because last year I don't believe I did a special Thanksgiving comic. Or did I? At any rate, I'm making a special one this year, shifting the post to Thursday from Friday, so this will be up Thursday if you want to see how the color turns out, and I'll be finishing up these guys later today. Let me go ahead and go to my ending screen here. Alrighty, I may do Thursday stream, I'm not sure. I'll probably just see how I feel. I'm going to be doing something in the morning, so it will probably be later, around 12-ish, 1-ish or something, if I do it. But definitely keep an eye on my Twitter, Instagram. I announce when I go live on there. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Kathy, Chris, Alaz, Ariana, Dee, all of my lurkers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. See you next time. Oh shoot, I'm not actually, well, if I do stream, I'll see you before then. But yeah, have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you next time. Indeed. Love you, Chris. See you in a few.